Now that you can draw a box whisker plot, let's talk about the shape that it tells you. So here's our shapes that you all recall from the histograms. And here's our box whisker plot from the Manitoba, Canada question in the previous video. And if we were to make a histogram from this same data, it would look something like this. And we can compare the two, and clearly this is a left skewed data set. Right? It comes down kind of like that. Notice that the box whisker plot is asymmetric. But just because it's asymmetric, there's an important concept here. The amount of data that is in this one whisker, I mean, this goes from the minimum to the first quartile. Well, by definition, that means that's about 25% of all of the data. And in fact, how about all the other segments from first quartile to median, from median to third quartile to maximum? In fact, they're all approximately 25% of the data, always. By definition, that's how we calculate quartiles and medians. Well, if it contains the same amount of data, but over a greater spread, right, than over here, you can see how that plays out in the histogram. It means you have to have lower frequencies or smaller columns, right? Over here, we have the same amount of data in a shorter distance, which of course forces the frequencies to go up. So if we keep that in mind, we can see, okay, these are going to be sort of high frequencies, lower frequencies, right? We get that left skewed kind of shape. So if we take our 5 different typical shapes, we can start seeing how this would play out in box whisker plots. Right? We already did the left skewed. It looks something like this. Right? We have the long whisker means low frequencies. Right? High frequencies, so left skewed. Right? If we switch that around, of course, no big surprise. That's going to be right skewed. If we look at something like this, a bimodal one, right, here we have high frequencies, so the whiskers are going to be short relative to the lengths of the boxes. Right? So this is low frequencies with high frequencies at the two ends, bimodal. If we look at mound shape, of course, here is high frequencies. High frequencies means short, so the box is short. We have low frequencies at the two ends. Low frequencies mean long whiskers. Right? And of course, the uniform one, and this is the one that for some reason confuses. But once you kind of look at it, it should hopefully make sense. If everything is about the same frequency, then the length of the 4 segments should all be about the same. And that would give you a uniform distribution.